Okay, thank you everybody. So as Tom said, I'm here to take a slightly different approach to look at innovation in apprenticeships. I'm Susanna Lawson. I'm the co-founder and chief commercial officer at OneFile Limited in Manchester. Our company vision is to replace paperwork with technology. So everything we do within this, within our plan is to look at that. If something can be done on paper, can we do it within using technology instead? So if I just look at some of the impacts that we've done through working towards this vision, some of the customers that we work with, some of them are saying that they've been able to reduce their printing costs by 84% by using our system, and also administrative tasks by their assessors who are going out to assess apprenticeships. They're able to reduce that by 30 hours per apprenticeship. So as you can see, it makes people very, very effective in the workplace. So how did I get involved in this market? I graduated from the University of Manchester 19 years ago with a degree in psychology. I actually went to go and work for the National Health Service afterwards to work with adults with learning disabilities, but the NHS didn't recognise my degree. So in order to get a pay rise, in order to get promotion within the NHS, I had to do what was known then as a National Vocational Qualification in Care. I had to do a level 2, and then I went on to do a level 3. And I really saw the value in doing a vocational qualification, because although I had a degree, it was never going to prove to my employers that I was competent in my work role. So as ridiculous as it sounds, I did a 3-year degree, but it was actually doing my level 2, my level 3 that got me promotion within the NHS. I ended up managing, I became the youngest manager within our trust, managing adults with learning disabilities. After that, I really saw the value in that, so I went on to become an assessor of apprenticeships, an internal verifier, and then I left the NHS to work for a private training organisation similar to some of the ones that are talking today, and I became the national contracts manager for 1,000 apprentices based all over the country. So from that, as a learner, an assessor, a verifier and a manager, I knew all the pitfalls with paper. It was a nightmare. But you basically needed a large paper-based portfolio that could only be in one place at one time. If the assessor needed to see it, they had to drive out to go and see the apprentice. If the auditor wanted to see it, we had to take it away from the apprentice and take it back to the office. I'd drive out to go and see learners in elderly homes, and they'd say, I forgot you were coming, I didn't bring my work in, or I've left it at home, all the excuses. I was assessing in quite rough parts of Manchester. One of the apprentices had her folder in the back of her car, it got burnt out, we were a couple of months away from completion, and all that work was completely gone. As a manager, I had no way of seeing an overall picture of the apprentices based all over the country. I couldn't see whether people were completing their work. I couldn't see how effective the assessors were being and how productive. So basically, in 2004, my husband had a web design and database company based in our back bedroom in our house. He was doing bespoke projects for people all around the Northwest. We decided to put our skills together and build an online platform that became OneFile. A year later, we launched, and 10 years on, we're now the largest independently owned e-portfolio provider in the UK.
Excellent.
Okay. So, well, I've told a bit about my story already.
Great story.
Okay. So it was created in 2005. For the last 10 years, we've been innovating, listening to what our customers say to us, how they want to use the system, and also legislation. As we've talked about, trailblazers are going to be coming in the UK. We need to keep our ear to the ground on what legislation is saying as well. Okay. Our software is used by further education colleges, innovative training providers such as ITS, to my right, Chris Payne, introduced OneFile into ITS 2 years ago. The public sector, so the fire service, the NHS, all use some of them use OneFile, but we also have 30% of the UK's police forces using OneFile for their police officers. And also large or private organisations or corporations. I don't know if you've heard of Bright Horizons. They're a large childcare provider in the US. They're the largest childcare provider in the UK, and they use it in the UK. Okay, so at the moment we've got 3,300 centres that use OneFile. The number of users, we've got 280,000 concurrent users at any one time. So what is an e-portfolio? Okay, so it's designed for all criteria-based qualifications. So any vocational-based qualification where you have to tick the boxes to say that somebody is competent, they can be put into OneFile. So we have it for all sectors. It's a hub for all individuals involved in the apprenticeship programme, from learners to the assessors, all the way up to the employers. Now, the brilliant thing about the employer engagement, which you've heard so much about today, is it enables the employer, the manager, to go in and talk to the apprentice on a one-to-one basis. Where are you up to? What are you doing? They can log in remotely and they can see exactly what their learner's been up to as well. It's a centralised database for all assessment information, so it can all be input into OneFile, and it's also an electronic portfolio to store all achievements. So the great thing about it is it can use rich media. So if it is a trade, for example, a builder, electrician, a plumber, they can take photographs and videos and upload their evidence directly into it. So it's far richer than writing, yesterday I did this, I did that. And it also enables it to be a learner management system and a reporting system. So whereas as a manager, I would say to people, where are your learners up to? They'd say, oh, they're nearly finished. We're almost there. At a click of a button, you've got objective, up-to-date information that you can then take to your managers. So the benefits of using an e-portfolio: access for all, anytime, anywhere. Savings on paper, which I'll talk about in a few minutes' time. Do you use reams in America? I wasn't really sure. Reams. Basically, about half a ream per learner is saved. Savings in travel. Depending on how far people would have to travel, we're looking at about 90 miles per learner. Savings on time. And then, as Justine approached earlier with e-learning, we can have e-learning resources put into the system so that all the resources can be in one area. So just to show you some of the overall savings some of our customers have made. So in the last 10 years, we've estimated that we've saved in the UK, and you guys are a lot bigger than in the UK, 25 million miles saved in travel. So the assessors, the learners, the internal verifiers have saved about 25 million miles. We have to put that into US terms. That's 10,416 journeys down Route 66. Or another way of looking at it is over 1,000 journeys around the world, which is an incredible amount of savings. And financially, that equates to £3.1 million saved in gas, or $4.8 million. So that's a lot of money that can be reinvested then into technology or into other areas of the business. And then finally, I just want to see some of the impacts that our individual customers have seen. So as I mentioned right at the beginning, one customer, one college in Manchester, has seen an 84% reduction on their printing costs, which is absolutely huge. One of our customers has seen a return on investment of up to 1,328% per learner licence by the time saved through travelling, through gas, through administration, courier costs, portfolio costs. It's a massive ROI. And again, as I mentioned earlier, they're saying that it can save up to 30 hours admin time per apprentice. There's a lot of paperwork that can be involved in apprenticeships, lots of bureaucracy, lots of cross-referencing, re-referencing, and then referencing for a third time for the fun of it. An e-portfolio can save people time from doing that, which means they can then get on to the quality time of working, giving feedback, and assessing the apprentice as they need it. Okay, so I think that's 5 hours.